Hi there, this is Norm Schriever, and I wanted to help you out with some online and social media book marketing tips. And today we're going to talk about the essence of social media just to get started. I know we're all at different social media levels. Some folks have it figured out and they're pretty dialed in, some don't. Um, so hopefully what I try to do with this presentation is make sure there's something for everyone, even if it's one or two techniques or strategies you haven't used before. And I try to put a lot of stuff in here that I've used that's sort of outside the norm, so to speak, right? It's not just, hey, here's how you set up a Facebook page because you could just Google that. So I tried to put things that you're not really going to find elsewhere. Um, and definitely take this all with a grain of salt because these are strategies I like and things I've done, but ultimately you're going to have to find your own balance, what you like, what works for you, and what's effective even for your kind of book, your kind of demographic. But I encourage you to adhere to the 80-20 rule. And that's with anything you do, 20% of your activities will yield 80% of your results. And so, especially with social media, you could get super techy and have so many little nuts and bolts that you waste all your time with it, but really stick to the basics of what's effective. Um, okay, so part one, the essence of social media. Um, Social media, people put it up on a pedestal and it's, its own big mysterious, phenomenon almost. And I try to demystify it a little bit. It's really just a vehicle for sharing messages, ideas, entertainment, your art, your book. Um, it's not something magical that's going to do the work for you or instantly going to give you success or sales. It's basically a channel. Think of it as a very nicely paved road with a lot of exits, and they're all there for you, but you still have to get in the car and drive down it. That's one good way to think of social media. I tend to think of it like this when you're looking at social media and what it could do for you. Think about if you're shopping in a supermarket, let's say in a random day, and you're just walking down in the cereal aisle and you see someone else in the same aisle. Maybe you guys are looking at the same cereals. You say hello, you smile, a first impression. You might hit it off and start talking a little bit and realize you have some mutual interests. Maybe kids in the same school or you live in the same town. Maybe you exchange information, keep in touch. Hey, let's grab coffee sometime. And eventually you build a friendship and even a lasting relationship. Um, that's sort of in a nutshell what social media is. It's still human, it's still people interacting, um, but it's of course via technology. But it's think of each social media interaction as bumping into someone randomly at the grocery store. Only you bump into them via social media, right? You bump into them on Facebook or Twitter or what have you. But you still want to go through that process of making a good first impression, connecting, introducing yourself, building a friendship, building a relationship. So it's no different than real life terms. The reality is with book marketing, everyone wants to sell 10,000 books, 100,000, a million books instantly, right? Well, the way you do that is to sell one book 10,000 times. There's really no panacea that you do something and instantly it's going to hit big and you're going to sell $1 million. It's really focus on one book, one reader at a time, and you won't be disillusioned by these shortcuts that you think are out there. So you focus on, no matter how big numbers you're looking at, focus on the quality and the depth of the friendships or the interactions via social media. Too often, and this is my big pet peeve, that's why I tend to call it online marketing. Too often with social media, we get so interested in, ooh, how many likes do you have? How many followers? That stuff it's great and everything, but it's not really your ultimate goal. You know. Um, Here's the good news though with social media. If you want to sell those 10,000 books one at a time, and have those supermarket meetings, you can do that via social media efficiently, laser focused, so you're really reaching the target market that you want. And we'll talk more about target markets, I'm sure, through the presentation. Simultaneously, so you don't have to set up one meeting after another. You could be doing them simultaneous. all over the world, and ultimately, because I'm a broke writer, I try to do all my online marketing inexpensive or free if I can. So that's the good news. That's what social media can do for you.